Well, football season is just around the corner. We bring back in Julia Cox now from Pocatello. Julia, concussions aren't just a problem during the season. They can happen during summer camps as well.
That's right, Jeff. Concussions can happen pretty easily, especially in football, even if it's not a highlight hit. Earlier this week, I spoke with the founder and director of the Center for Sports and Concussions at Idaho State University, Faure, about the dangers of concussions and what you should do if you think you or someone you know might have one.
I think that the tests that we're doing now, as they relate to concussion and post-concussion assessment, are much more thorough than they've ever been. It really gives us as clinicians a better picture, so to speak, of what's happening inside the brain, so that we can manage the concussion a little bit better and keep the child safer before we allow them to go back into play.
Some of the signs and symptoms of concussions can be headaches, nausea or vomiting, blurry vision, dizziness, and fatigue, among other things. And it's important to follow the protocol when an athlete exudes some of these behaviors.
If a child exhibits those signs, symptoms, or behaviors of concussion, we immediately remove them from play, and there's no chance of return to play the same day until that child is seen and evaluated, thoroughly evaluated by a licensed healthcare practitioner. And then once that child is cleared from the concussion symptoms, then he or she follows a gradual return to play process before they can resume full activity.
It's only natural for kids to try and hide concussion symptoms, so it's important for people closest to the athlete to pay close attention to strange behavior.
I think, a lot of studies have been out there that kids are going to try to hide their symptoms, that's for sure. It's up to the parents and the coaches, the athletic trainers that are on the sideline, and the medical professionals who are there to really know what is normal for those kids and to really be vigilant in watching for those signs, symptoms, and behaviors. And if you notice anything out of the ordinary, for sure, stop any physical activity and get that child seen by a licensed healthcare professional.
So do helmets prevent concussions?
What we need to understand about helmets are that, for the most part, helmets are there to protect the skull and to prevent against skull fracture, not necessarily against concussion. Concussion is something that happens deep inside the skull, in the brain. And anytime there's that shaking, that violent shaking of the head, or that direct contact to the head, that brain can be damaged at a cellular level. So even the best helmet out there is not going to protect against those kind of risks.
And don't believe everything that's on the market.
There are no products on the market right now that will prevent concussion. So let's just get that out of the way. There's nothing out there. There are roughly 15 to 18 different helmets that have all been tested equally as having good, solid protection. We as a society have to be really careful with those kind of products because nothing will prevent concussion. Smart play, proper skills progression, and just being smart about when those signs, symptoms, and behaviors do arise to sit out. That's what we need to be doing and what we need to be focusing on, not these latest and greatest marketing strategies by companies looking to make a buck.
So bottom line is, there's nothing on the market right now that will stop concussions. You need to know the signs, symptoms, and behaviors for when people do have concussions. And for more on that, go to knoconcussion.org. Jeff, back to you.